Roccat. Set the rules.
Hi, welcome at the Roccat Studios Hamburg. My name is Florian, just come in. I'm gonna show you our incredible offices over here in Hamburg. I think there is someone who can do that better than me. So just follow me upstairs. I'm gonna bring you to the office of René, CEO and founder of Roccat. How do you guys like Hamburg?
Very good.
Very good, he said. Was the only possible answer, you could say. So, this is the office of René.
Okay, so I'm in the office with René, who's the CEO and founder of Roccat, and really I just want to find out more about Roccat as a company. So when did it start, and what were the main reasons for Roccat founding as a company?
Since we have the 5th year of Cone this year, the anniversary, I remember that we started almost 2 years before we produced the first mouse, our first Cone. So it's almost 7 years now, which feels like only 7 months, but it's almost 7 years. The reason why we did this, finding our own company or finding my own company in this, is I have a very big background in professional gaming. So I was a professional gamer by myself. I led and built one of the most and the biggest, most popular and biggest esport team in the world. And whenever I was working for other different companies, I always looked at the hardware and said like, well, this is nothing I really would like to play with. It's not only in terms of features, but it's also in terms of design, it's in terms of brand. I was grown in a time where I was like, where skateboarding and music was pretty big, and I was always with brands, and always the brands I had, I expected something in terms of quality, in terms of, you know, giving me something more, in terms of cult, giving me something more. And our idea was to create something similar in gaming. So yeah, and as I always said, it was the best and the worst day in my life. The best day is I own a big company today, and I can give a lot of talented people a great chance, a great challenge every day, and I can do something because I'm a gamer by myself, still very enthusiastic, and I can build something around my hobby, which used to be my hobby, and this is it's an exciting job every day. And the worst part is it's not as easy as it looks like, and especially in the first year. Not within Roccat, but with all our external partners, we had to make our experience. And thanks for all the people supporting us over the years. If you compare product today to something we did in the beginning, now they call us quality and technology leader. But it was different in the beginning. We had the idea and the ambition and the spirit to create something, and but maybe not the skill at that point of time. And yeah, that gets us also a little bit of trouble in the first 2 years.
So another sort of question that I know a lot of people are going to be asking is about the name Roccat. Where did that originate from? Is there any reason behind it, or is it just something you thought, wow, that sounds nice?
It's not such a funny, tremendous story, so I always think about it, especially when business partner asks me of creating something, which might be very funny. But the funny thing on it, or let's say the interesting part, is that we came up with names in the beginning that after we realized that we also have to have copyrights for these kind of things, realized that almost all of them have been gone. So we had like different names, and we went to a lawyer, and the lawyer said like, okay, if you don't want to fight with the biggest chipset company in the world, you better take a different name. And so it took us like 10, 20 approaches. And we found out that with, you know, billions of people in the world living, it's not very easy to find a name. And one of my ID designer, basically the first ID designer, the core team of Roccat when we started was me, a D designer, a graphic artist, and an engineer, so a very small team, creating just one product. My ID designer always say like, the German word for the rocket, the rocket you shoot in the sky is Rakete, and he always said like, we need to call it Rakete, Rakete. And the tiger hat we had in the beginning already, because we wanted to have a very aggressive symbol. So I took the German word into the English word and I said Roccat, cat. And then we're like, oh wow, that could work out. And then we created this kind of, you know, a rocking Roccat, which you can make out of the name, and then we went to the lawyer and said like, well done, this is a name you can take globally, and we are like, okay, that's our company name.
Brilliant. And there's probably another sort of real big question that people who may have never used Roccat products before, what separates your products from anyone else's? What sort of unique selling point is there to a Roccat product? Why should they buy that compared to a competitor?
First of all, it's really crafted by people who play games. That's a big difference. We are not in the market because it's a market. So I was never ever looking at market shares. Even if banks and investors ask me today, what is your market shares? I don't care. I sell my products. You can see the revenue I do. You see all your aunties and sons and friends playing games, so there is a market. But we are not there just because it's a market. Like you see a lot of, case companies and whatever they did before, they're coming into gaming. But we are here really to build and craft the best gaming things. And the best gaming things in the world, the best gaming peripherals, you only craft if you have people that are ambitious gamers, but also very talented in what they do. If you talk to an ID designer, if you talk to a graphic artist in Roccat, you will always find this perfect mixture of gamers and professional. Yeah. We don't advertise this as from gamers for gamers, like everybody is doing this, even that he doesn't. But the whole philosophy is we try to create products that we would like to play with if we play our recent games. Or we could imagine a technology that makes games even more interesting to play than using common hardware. And not only because it's technology, as already mentioned, you also need to look at it and you need to say like, wow, that's awesome. That is something I really want to put on my desk, and that distinguishes me from my mom's and my dad's computer, and maybe my friend's computer, because I have controllable, configurable LEDs. I can change parts. I can customize as much as possible. And the other point is, I think that engineering products in Germany also means you really like details. So if you jump into a German car, what you immediately feel is that there's so much love to design, detail, the software, the controls, everything seems to work perfectly with each other. And that's why we also have the biggest and most advanced software coming with our products. Because we believe that only with the small little details, is also in terms of configuration, it makes a different product and a product we really want. So maybe looking at the whole software suite, some people say, I don't need this, all of that. But if you walk through our office and ask to our people and consumers, some of them always pick like small little things for their favorite game, for their favorite application. And that's what we want to do. Buy a Roccat product and you get the full set of functionality.
Okay, and obviously, as you compare it to cars, I feel exactly the same way, that people would buy a German car for quality and engineering and all the little intricate details, and that's exactly what you get with a Roccat product as well. So
if you just to give you an example, we always try to not just build something because there is technology available. We always think about some things that also solve gaming things, like say gaming problems we have, or make gaming much easier. And when we were looking into mechanical keyboards, for example, the latest Ryo series we created, and hopefully shipping soon, the Ryos, we just didn't want it to have like lights. When we looked at the whole engineering part, we knew that if you have lights on a mechanical keyboard, you need to put an LED behind each keycap, which is a very expensive thing, makes a very expensive product. So if you invest all this kind of money and make it make an expensive product, so why not make it possible to address every single LED? And then it's not just having a feature like addressing every single LED, but what is my benefit as a gamer? So if you start a game, you can also see which keys are bind. You can have like nice light effects. You can have screensaver modes. And maybe you want to have something that we don't even think about and might come up in the future, and therefore you need the tool, means the SDK, to make things possible on your own keyboard. And this is what I would say is, this is when we think about more details and one step ahead.
And I've got to say, obviously, we've seen before the likes of the Power Grid software and the software that comes with Roccat products, and it's on a completely different level to what other manufacturers are offering. Obviously, you find software like this from certain manufacturers, but never from someone who makes peripherals like yourselves. So I think it's nice that you have sort of two aspects to a product. You have the hardware with the quality and the intricate detail, but then you have the software to fully customize it to how the gamer wants it, because everyone's different, right?
Yeah, everyone is different. And that's also very important on PC gaming, I believe. It's also why people don't buy certain products for their game, because they will play different games, and the the games will change from FPS to MOBA to MMO, and maybe next FPS will be a big thing. But you want to use your hardware for more than just a single game, and even for working or for other things. And that's why you need a certain degree on customization. And that's because we know by ourselves. We don't want to stick for one game forever. There will be a new game coming tomorrow, and I will still want to use my Roccat hardware to get it done. And yeah, that's all these kind of things we discuss in our very open office. We discuss about the things makes this products very unique. And uniqueness also comes from giving the space for people to create things and be creative and talk to each other. And I hope we will have the chance to walk around a little bit, and I can show you something about the way we think working as a gaming company, being creative, should look like. And after that, you might understand better why we do different things than our competitors.
Okay, so obviously we're going to take a look around about sort of, to see how a product is first drafted up in the sketching stage to sort of, seeing how it develops for its stages. And obviously you have your main studios here where all the design and everything's done, and then you have your Taiwan office as well, which I think they focus more on the electrical side. Is that correct?
It's here I would say our main audience is in Europe and North America. So that's where we create the products, because it's a different way of playing and playing style and design we do, and that's why we do the whole creative part over here. Engineering means in terms of what kind of chipset we use, how we do the firmware stuff like this, is done in our Taipei office, which is like a mirror to this office. It's just on a different continent, but it's also a very international mixture of people trying to get the best out of programming our own chipset. And while the chipset manufacturers are coming from Taiwan, it's very it's necessary, and it's a big advantage also to have an office over there, because you know the latest sensor technology, and you can discuss with them what kind of things we can tune on sensors, which is also very important for us, because we also see deficits in current sensor technology, and this can only be done while we put our own experience and expertise into creating some different firmwares or helping the manufacture of these kind of components, making it more gaming than it is right now.
And obviously you said that when you started this company you were a gamer, still are a gamer, so at the moment what's your game, and what hardware do you use to play? What keyboard and mouse and headset?
I currently play LOL, which is League of Legends. I'm very good in jungling with Volibear. As long as I don't drink in the evening, my marketing teammates are very proud playing with me. I'm getting more aggressive when I have the one or other beer. But I play on a Rise keyboard. I play a Cone Pure Optical. I have a brand new Cave headset. But my favorite toy right now is the Power Grid software, where I have my own customized and created LOL timer grid, so I can time all the kind of different items right now. And that's also why the people like to play with me, because I created this kind of timers that everybody get informed when something spawns. So I'm trying to keep control over all this kind of items. And that's a lot of fun, because it makes a big difference to just playing LOL. So I really enjoy most of the time with my people. So if I don't have enough time talking about discuss about marketing, I have my marketing people in my LOL team, and then we can get some things going.
It seems like a pretty good company, and so you work hard, you play hard, it all works out really well. So I think the best thing we can do now is sort of take a look around the offices, sort of see how a product starts from the early development stages to obviously what people can buy in the shops.
And since the Rios is the most wanted product right now, let's go and see how Philip, our ID designer, started from scratch to design this nice, awful piece of hardware.
Brilliant. Let's go.
Be careful. Stairs. Hey, Carsten.
Hey, everybody.
So we found him. This is Philip. He's in the tool shop.
Hey.
Hey, Philip, how you doing? Hey, I brought some friends here from the UK, and we want to learn something about what's integrated product development and Roccat means. And yeah, we thought it's good to talk to you because you're the designer of Rios.
Hey.
And maybe you can show the people a little bit about what it means to create products in the beginning.
Yeah.
Since we don't buy any products from the shelf in China, we we do things by ourselves, and that's interesting to learn and see how you did the Rias, for example.
The whole development design is right here. Wait, so thanks. Maybe I can show you first our new 3D printer. So there we print all first mock-up models. I can show you this one, for example. So this is a typical 3D printout, and you can also paint it to have a first feeling and the first look of the material and the colors. And then I can show you some machines. So we have different machines to make the models a bit more comfortable, and we have also the possibility to paint the models here in our painting area. Yeah, but maybe I think here's no really interesting stuff. Maybe we can go into our product development department, and I can show you some other stuff.
So the ergonomics, as we said, is a very important part for us. So whenever we create products like a mice, for example, we'll have like different kind of material we use and mock-ups we do, which is like highly beta tested, not only within our office, but with a lot of local gamers from Hamburg, from Asia, where we also have an office. And based on these kind of models, when we basically found this is the example of the cone, so this is the mother of the cone basically. If we have this, we will put this into 3D. And 3D means like build it from scratch again into different surfaces to make it a good looking product with all this kind of buttons and scroll wheels and lights and stuff like this integrated. And this is something we're going to see now for the Rias keyboard at Philips desktop. Okay, let's go. So this is we call it the ID design hall. So we have big room and big space, not only for our competitors' product to look at, but also have the space in the room to talk to people and test people. What I could show you, for example, right now is a beta test for a new mouse we do right now. So this is our test candidate, again. And if you turn the way around, if you just walk around.
It's much too easy for me. Yeah. You need to have it in software. Of course.
You can see it's like a blind test, for example, where the people really can't see the product, but they are answering certain questions we have on ergonomics, where mouse buttons, are the mouse buttons good to reach, how is the clicking, what do you think about certain mouse buttons at certain times. So we spend a lot of time and effort. At least this mouse is touched by 100 people, you know, to get at least enough people to judge what's good, what's not, how about our idea we had, does it make sense for you, is it a better experience, stuff like that. Okay. So this is the place where all the ID design is being done. As I said, our concept is from sketch to shelf, means we are sketching a lot, how the design of a product would look like, what kind of features we could integrate into this. And this is, for example, something that will be some new USB plug designs or some new designs for ambidextrous mouse, for example. So this is the Rias keyboard, the one we are talking about. But before this really is manufactured nicely like that one, it takes a lot of steps, especially on a 3D design. And that is something Philip is going to explain to you guys.
As you can see here, this is quite the first sketching round. So after we have defined the overall concept and the briefing, we start with sketching, and as you can see, many different design directions. And then we set a focus on a chosen direction, and then we go step by step, closer and closer. As you can see here, some details for the thumbstick keys, and yeah. In the end, we have a ready prototype, and then we go in close collaboration with our colleagues in Asia. We develop the final product, and as you can see here, 3D model. And as you can see here, it's quite finished. You can see the keys here with inside components and the metal plate of the mechanical keyboard. And yeah, I can show you. the whole product in a moment. Yeah, there you can see the whole product. And yeah, this is quite finished, and yeah, maybe we go to the table and then I can show you the product. Yeah, this is a finished product with all textures and paintings, and yeah, this is the rice.
The product is only good as it has been tested, so that's why I'd like to introduce you to one of our best testers, or the best tester in the world, which is Carsten. And Carsten is with us for almost 7 years, and he's the guy in the beginning when we were not sure about how the performance of our first mouse was. He's the guy who was sitting in the factory to test every mouse with his hands, and he tested almost how many mice, Carsten?
I guess in total around 90,000.
90,000?
90,000 should be, yeah.
So what we want to guys show you a little bit, maybe come around. So there's more than just Carsten testing the product, but it's Carsten's responsibility basically by the end say, okay, this product is ready to be sold. And he has the help of hundreds of beta testers who also receive the product before we're going to sell it and make sure that the product itself, the mechanics, the software is ready to ship it as a final product. So we'll hand you over to Carsten. Maybe you can tell us something about the Rios, or what is the testing of Rios?
Right now I'm sitting over the Rios MK Pro, and to make the fine-tuning and the very last bug fixing for the driver and the firmware. Yeah, actually, basically, I check all the functions thousands and thousands of times, actually, to make sure that everything is working fine. I create macros, I check all the functions in lighting and all on the firmware-based stuff like macro execution, and with testing tools, ghosting stuff to make sure that there's no ghosting, and yeah. Actually, I try to find, my job is the alpha testing actually. I do all the testing during the development, and my job is to find bugs to make sure they are fixed when we release the product or when we go for mass production.
Okay, thanks. So I hope you got a good insight into Roccat, and now it's time for us to get back to our table and get all the great stuff done, especially for the Rios that people are asking us every day. So I hope you got a good insight, and hope to see you soon.